Feel ya. I feel you with the whole adjustment thing, camera thing. Is my Bluetooth off? Nope. Because Apple likes to turn my Bluetooth on every day. It's dumb. StreamYard, where it is, you gotta burn one. Apple turns its Bluetooth on every day. Man, one of my favorite, longest, most favoritist, most best bands. One of my favorite voices ever. Is this lady in my ear right now. Let's see. See, I don't like AI. I hate AI. AI is a lazy man's tool. AI is for people that can't do stuff on their own. There's nothing that I can't do myself that I would ever have. No. I don't even use dictation because I still use old-timey text because it works parts of your brain. It keeps parts of your brain active. That's why people are so demented. It's because they don't use their brains. So, gotta use your brain. If you don't use it, you lose it. So I started listening to this band, shit, I was a kid, 14, 15 years old, Concrete Blonde. They sold their soul too. But I didn't. So it all evens out. This chick, what's her name? It starts with the J. I can never remember her name. See, they started in Hollywood, California. That's the same latitude. That's the same radio station that I started from. Latitudes are frequent. People, nah, I don't want to get into all that. But so, they were active from 82 to 94. I started listening to them in 87, 88. Then they reunited a couple of times. Johnette, Napoleon and Atano. They got all the advantage I didn't. But she's got skills. I love her voice. And bloodletting, which is a terrible thing to do, incidentally, which the world is run off of, and people are starting to figure that out. But I always knew what bloodletting was, and like sacrificing people to get advantage, because that's the world I grew up in. I didn't know it was anything wrong with it. I just thought that's what people do. They use you and then they throw you away like garbage. Makes me sad. Maybe I'll wear my necklace. Mom's necklace. This is, my name's Marge. I'm a Heyoka. This is Mom's necklace. Maybe if I ask nice, she'll let me wear it today. I don't want to put it on because she's sleeping and I don't have permission. I'm a thunder child. That's what I bring thunder back to the people that make war. That's what I do. Heyoka do. We're contrarian. We try and do it in a peaceful, clowny way because we don't want nobody to get hurt. Sometimes we gotta act out. So I got me a new toy in my fight against the war. You want to see it? This is my Second Amendment right. You want to see it? I'm going to show it right here. Are you ready? I gotta get it ready. I'm gonna bear some arms right here, right now. You ready? This is what I think about the Second Amendment, okay? Let me turn this off. Boop. So you won't find me in any room getting tackled by no machismo meathead, because I'll be driving around blasting bubbles wherever I go in New Mexico. Don't get caught up in their bullshit, man. Go out and make something better for a stranger in your local community. Don't turn off the TV. Ignore those stupid sons of turkeys. Those Nepo Nancy's is what I call them. Ignore them. See, I was a part of it. It's all programming. We're all programmed, but we get to choose what our prompts and our commands are going to be. We're a computer. And you got these little weirdos, males, females, you know, they just don't have a soul. They have no spirit. And they got this they call it like a predatory, like psychology finds them out and then they're recruited. Oh, you'll be perfect in our study. You'll be perfect you're a perfect candidate. You'll go along with the program. I was never a perfect candidate because I was the one that was always like, hey, why are we doing that? That's weird. And they don't like that. They want the go along to get along crew. I tried. But like, taking care of mom was always my priority in life. And so I would go off and I would do these things. I would collect these things. I would collect these little trinkets and stuff. I get these little trinkets. This is what they give you in basic training. Here's a coin. Now go die. Here's a coin. Go die. You know, when I was in basic training, I couldn't even take it serious. I was having a heartfelt moment. And then they even played Bette Midler's Wind Beneath My Wings. And I was like, oh, Mom, doing this. I was like, wait a minute. This is stupid. Why are they doing this? Oh, because Washington, D.C. both exist to get the American public to think that, like, this matters. Air Force core values. Integrity first. Service before self. Excellence in all we do. They all suck ball sack. Then they give you little coins like this. And then they print things on them like this. There's only 200 of these on the whole planet. You know how many people, I go into people's houses and they have all these things, these coins. They have these big boxes where they have their ribbons and their coins in. And the funny part is like, I have these. I have a couple. I have these coins. Do these coins count for, I collected a bunch of these coins too. So between, I don't have all the ones. I used to have like 14 of these. They're called, I used to know. I don't care. I used to, and then I got a bunch of these coins. They have like 8, 9, 10. Got a bunch of, and then this has, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Because I was a parrot in this show, too. I'd stand at the podium, and I'd say words, and all the people would laugh. They didn't even know the whole story. There's an X. I got an X there. There's a 1, 3. Some of them I gave away to other people, so I don't have all of them. And a few of them, like, I drilled holes and made keychains out of it. Maybe I should do that to these. Because other people, but you don't have, I don't find other people that did the same shit that I did. Because their mission wasn't critical. Because I was on Crete when we bombed Iraq. That's why I'm adamantly against war. I hate war, man. I hate fucking fireworks. Yeah, those are, but these aren't. These are why I had to get sobriety coins. This is age. I'm an age ranger. I'm here to usher in the new age because everything's woo-woo. But in the military, aerospace ground equipment, their little poser tag is, there's no air power without ground power. So It's all to get, it's all male enhancement drugs. That's what this stuff is. That's what this is. And I don't need it. So to me, it's just like, oh, they make funny noises. And now we're doing the same stuff they made me do in 2001. Because we started bombing the desert as soon as 9/11 happened. We were prepping equipment. Dude, they don't, when they say we don't go to war unless there's approval by Congress, that's just things that they say. Do not ever thank me for my service. Please don't ever. I will cry. People want to make me cry? Don't make me cry. Because this is what my service was. It was a paid vacation on Crete, where I got to walk with the gods, and I got to walk around on my downtime. That's Suda Bay. Go look at the history of Suda Bay. I got to play at Suda Bay. I should make a t-shirt. These guys got to play at Suda Bay too. Just, that's what your dads are doing when they're off at war. This is what your dads and uncles. You think they're in ditches? Clutching pictures of their family close to your heart? No, they're cheating on their fucking wives. This bullshit. So men with erectile dysfunction can go ride donkeys and camels and goats, and they just like riding animals. This is what, for this. See, because they do this and it gets them all, oh, I feel like a man. I gotta go put it someplace. Dude, the bullshit that I had to endure during this just to do my job. I don't like linguists. The personality of linguists, they're like AI programmers in my mind. They're the equivalency of one another. Okay? And they tried to have me brought up on charges. Because I was already there doing my job, 12, 13-hour shifts, and the military is about bringing in everybody's stupid cousin from every guard unit, every reserve unit. Come on over, join the party. Get your tax-free income. Get your hazardous duty pay. Come on, all we got to do is fly over this airspace, do it at 11:30 on the last day of this month, fly out 45 minutes, come back, new month, new pay, tax-free, hazardous pay, raking in the money, because this is what we have to do to protect America. I was in the Air Force. Want to see something funny? This is my shit. Oh, it's in the car. You know how it says on your ribbons it has your name and then it has U.S. Air Force? I took a black pen and made an A. Oh. What was it? My brain is fried. They gave me 8 anthrax vax, and it's been 20 years since I've been out. 286. What was it? I've written it down and wrote it on everything, and I don't even remember. See, because I never participated like everybody else. 28652 is what I ended up as. I had to look it up. I'm going to do a screenshot. 286. I'm going to do a talk with that. I don't really care, dude. I don't care if people believe me. I'm not here. If I tell the story about how I was 13 years old, was messing around in mom's important papers and found a sheriff report and actually read the police report about how I was raped as a 10-month-old baby. I'm not here to get people to believe me. I'm here to get, there's a Hobart. I used to change out the diesel engine generator, the generators on these and the diesel engines. This is what we did periodic. I only did 6 years because it's a circle jerk. It's a bunch of dudes yanking each other off. Oh, I'll go in the truck with them. Okay, go be with your butt buddy. Yeah, I was at Offutt on 9/11, so I flipped off George Bush out the load bank hangar door. You can ask my buddy Harry. He worked for E4. He was over at the Doomsday plane. That's why I'm like, why do people believe this stuff? Because I'm surrounded by a bunch of actors, a bunch of Barney Fifes. Like, I don't care. My experience speaks for itself. You're in my house. Don't come on my house and try and turn on my floor. Because my life, and unless you've ever taken care of anybody besides yourself and wiped anybody else's ass, you're definitely not going to understand what I'm saying, because I've been a stay-at-home daughter caregiver since 2017, and my brother, you can look this up. Jerome has to look this up. California barcode. I'll say it slow. 249 276. One more time if you want to write it down. That's California barcode 249276, who is paid $250,000 a year to write the script of what the world is and eats up and follows every day. See, that's what lawyers are. They write words on pages and then they say, dance, puppet, dance. But then they create waivers. That's why little bitches with flat feet like my brother, he was allowed to go in the military because he's a puppet. Because my dad and my dad's dad and my dad's dad and my grandma, they're all those Freemason, Eastern witch bitches. And I don't do that. I don't participate in reindeer games. I take care of mom. When I go out in the world, I blow bubbles with my bubble gum. I give out stickers to people. I'm just a joyful being. You know why? Because I've actually been to war where I saw how it is the industrial complex. War is conferences in Vegas. That's what war is. Where real people die. And so people get mad at me because they're like, hey, my dad was in war. He don't talk about, you know why your dad don't talk about being in war? Because your dad was doing this. And your dad was sleeping with underage local girls. And your dad was doing things to get his D dirty. That's what your dad was doing in war. Because when I was on Crete and we bombed Iraq, there was 550 Marines. 550. These guys, they're just hot to trot, ready with the kill program. You know what these guys did? They took them over, dropped them off in Baghdad. They did their little shock and awe. These guys surprised themselves. They surprised themselves because they did gross shit that men do during war, because in love and war there's no rules, and nobody's gonna see, and it's usually a woman that can't speak English, so no one's ever gonna tell. Women and children are the greatest casualties of war, because dudes will do whatever they want because they get their little rocks off with the booms and the bombs and stuff, and then they I don't, go away. You know what? Go away. 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 Why are you here? Why? Are you one of those guys Pfizer spent $4 billion on male enhancement drugs last year? Because you know it happens to all of you. Every dude in America ends up on boner pills. And if not, then they gotta watch porn or be violent or ride a Harley or get a muscle car and race around. These are things that men in America have to do to remind themselves that they are in fact men. Because they're not out mowing lawns to the disenfranchised. They're not out. Here's the perfect time. They're not out looking for Emily Pike. Go get off my live. Go out to Arizona and find out which one of you dangly dick, dirty dick doofuses hacked up Emily fucking Pike. Go do something good with your life. How's that? You poser. I pose like a man. I'm going to go on this person's chat and be a contrarian because they are a contrarian. La 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 la. Circle jerk, circle jerk. That's why so many women are opting out of men. Because of that bullshit. So let's talk about cleanliness. Avoid the nuisance. Cleanliness, there's 3 kinds of cleanliness. I used to have these roommates. One of my brother, his name is Jerome Allen Hessick. He's a piece of shit Freemason frat boy that is part of the Butt Club Squad. The gay while aways, that's what the military is. How many times did I have to sit in that truck and listen to dude have, and it's illegal. It's illegal to cheat on your spouse by the UCMJ. It's against the rules. And these dudes would go off on deployment. They'd come back with the big old fat sack of cash in their bank. You know, they could stand their wives again, their kids. They could tolerate them for a couple weeks before they start getting annoyed again. And dude, it's like a whole cycle. And then their kids grow up and then they're like, we want guns to go shoot and kill things. And they don't, it's like, where did they drop the ball sack that thou shalt not kill? See, when I enlisted, I did it to go to college because a dumbass, dangly dick, dirty dude slammed mom's head in the door when she was 39 because she didn't want him no more. He was scary and gross, and that's how men behave. I'll go back to cleanliness in a second. And so I was like, shit, what am I going to do to take care of mom? Because I'm not real smart. I'm autistic. That's what they said in 1987. God, they tested me for everything all the time. I'm one of them psychic intuitives. That's why we moved around a lot, so they could never really pick up my trail. And plus, agencies don't exist to help people unless you're going to bend the knee and I won't suck the D. It's the same thing in my head when people are like, and when I enlisted in the military, I believed in the lie. And I even would talk to my recruiter because I was 25 when I went and I was old. And so I said, listen, dude, I said, I laid it out. I said, this is what, I need a college education because at some point my mom can't, and I promised I'd never put her in a home because I'm not a piece of shit scumbag. And she's my family, and so I'll wipe her ass. I ain't gonna let no dumb shit gets paid $14. Back then it was like $8. I said, no, I'm taking care of my own mom. But Margie, all the terrible things that happen when you're a child. Well, I'm not a child anymore, so I guess I don't have to be mad about shit that happened when I was a child. And so I said, you got me. You already got my balls. And they offered me age and a $6,000 sign-off bonus. Because basically I could have any pick of any career field. And I said, hey, tell me something. with my ask. My autism makes me ask a lot of questions, and people don't like that because they're so dumb they can't answer my questions. So mostly I'm just talking out loud, hashing things out with the universe. It's what Gemini placements do. And I said, tell me, are police the dumbest? Are they the lowest test score on the ASVAB, on the military entrance exam? And he looked at me and he giggled and he said, no, they're the second lowest. I said, well, who's the lowest? He said, services. The people that, like, when the important military members go to the gym and work out, like I did all the time. If they leave there, I didn't leave my shit. I clean up after myself, which will bring me back to cleanliness in a second. If people don't, I've seen doctors that I supported in IT at Creighton University blow straight up snot rockets at the wall. Like, that's what lizard people do. That's that. If you know anything about the Hawkins scale, that's nasty, gnarly, gross shit. That's down there with butt stuff. So, and then I was in the Air Force, and we had like this feud with the SPs. The stupid police is what SPs are. They enlist because they're like the assholes back at every small town, medium-sized town, large town. It's part of the program. It's like, get the asshole that'll do whatever you want him to do. All you have to do is let him play with guns and get him good gear and cars and trucks to drive around in, and tell him that who the bad guys are. But see, they go rogue and they just have their own ideas about who bad guys are with their really low IQs. And they do like 2 years in the military, and they'll go up to places like Fairbanks, Alaska. Just put them up there. They suck. I've been there, but only for like 2-week increments to support the Cobalt mission that we did a couple times. And so, put them up there, tell them that they're guarding a missile that don't exist. You know, and they'll be out of everybody's hair. And maybe they'll have long enough time to think about what a shit stain on the fabric of society they are. And that maybe they need to stop acting the way they've been acting with all their pretensions and privilege. Do that. Try that. But then you got most of them that just sit there and think about all the things that they could do if they had the chance. And then they go back to PA, Philly, or Redding, California, or Sacramento, or Atascadero, or Escondido, or San Antonio, or New Orleans, or Kissimmee, Florida, or Virginia Beach, or wherever they fucking dug themselves out of a rock from. And then they get a job at their local police shop. And then, like, sometimes it's like, I always hear about the good cops. You hear about the good ones? You hear about the good ones? I used to believe that, too, because a man named Officer Don Ostendorf used to come to Rother Elementary with his guitar, and he would sit there with this stern face, but he would play funny songs like Peanut on a Train Track and stuff like that. So you think, oh, police officer isn't scary. And then I was how old was I? 3rd grade? How old are kids in 3rd grade? 9, 10 years? 10 years old, maybe? I don't know. I'm not around kids much. So not 5 years later, fast forward, I'm a 15-year-old kid. And the man that beat up my mom and threatened to freaking kill me, a 15-year-old little girl, had just grabbed her cane. I was in the back seat. He was in the front seat. And he kept saying things like, I have stood over your bed while you've slept with a fork, listening to the demon say, just stab her eyes out. And things like that. And see, I was playing and screwing around with in the weight room and stuff like that. And at the same time, I'm leg pressing 500 pounds. This guy turned around and tried to come at me, and I just started kicking at him. Because in the 64 Chevy Biscayne, the front seat, it's not, the seats, there's a big seat and it's real low. Mom's freaking out. She just had her head injury. She'd been in the hospital a week. She just gotten out. We pull up on the side of the road. He reaches back, grabs her wooden cane. I'm already out of the car watching what he's doing. He grabs her cane, gets out, breaks it over his knee, and he's like, today's the day I'm going to finally get to kill you. And I was like, God, and I'm like, this guy's fucking, like, this guy's another Jerry, like my brother. Like men that are over emotional and can't control themselves. That's what I'm dealing with. So how do we deal with it? So I'm like, okay, God, it's you and me. Here we go. You got Mom. She's good. And so we're like doing this around the car, right? And we're on South Bonneview in Redding, California. And then, like, my mom's just yelling, just get in the car, just get out of here. I just can't deal with this. Like, this is just too much and everything. And so I was like, okay, Mom, I don't want to upset you. And then she let that guy back in the car. We dumped him off closer to his sister's house. And then we were on the way home. And I see an RPD car coming in the direction that we were just coming from. Now we're on the going back. This car sees us, flips a U-ey, hits the lights, pulls us over. Mom's like, what the heck is happening? They pull over. The man, we're in a fishbowl. We're in a fishbowl. There's windows everywhere in this car. And this man with the 45 with the same uniform that Mr. Jangly played the guitar for, he comes up on me with the 45. That's the first time I looked down the barrel of a gun. It was a 45 RPD police issue. Arms up. Okay. I said, that guy's gone. That guy, he's not here. It's just me and Mom. Put your gun down. Don't point that thing at me. What the fuck is wrong with you? And then he takes me up to the car. And then he like runs Mom's name. And there's this whole list. A laundry list that... Because I knew he didn't beat her up, but I wasn't always around. I was at school and stuff, but that guy beat her up, picked her up by her hair, put her in the door and slammed the door. She still has like a saggy sack of flesh on the back of her head when I wash her hair. See, none of this phases her, but I'm reminded constantly about how much men hate women. Or women hate men. Anytime people hate themselves, they will do the most deplorable things. That's why I like to just go out and do stuff like this. Because that's fun. This is fun. I hate that. What's your AFSC? What's your shoe size going to be when you're 50? Tell me that. Okay, so cleanliness. I had a hard time with cleanliness because I had so many interests, I would spread myself thin. And Mom tried to establish preference and establish importance of keeping things clean because your environment externally is a reflection of your mind, your psyche. And that makes sense. And then later, when I went to college, because I didn't want to be just a turning wrenches, because it's stupid. I don't like that. I like other things more. I would rather spin a different plate on a stick, because that's all interests are. And I see all these people that never had to take care of anybody else but themselves. And all they do is go around and do what they see other people do. Like the whole industry of tourism exists based on monkey see, monkey do. Based on the first monkey. See, I'm a first monkey. I used to jump on the bed and do monkey things. I hit myself in the head. You know, whenever there's like dancing, even if there is a DJ, and if there was like any way to dance, I was always the first person to dance. I remember dancing at, like the first one dancing at a funeral one time. Like, because people want to celebrate life. I believe that people want to go out like being celebrated, right? My birthday's coming up. I like to do, a couple years ago I turned, what year was that? See, it messes me all up because my birthday was never on Easter, but then for my 49th birthday, my birthday was on Easter, which is 4/9. That's kind of cool. I just realized that. And then so I went and got a buggy, a little gorilla wagon, right? Got one of them gorilla wagons. And then I went to the market and bought all kinds of different size flower bouquets. And I walked around the park in like the town square area. Unfortunately, they were doing their freaking pagan weird bullshit with the Easter crap. Which made it good for me because there was single moms with deadbeat dads all over the park. And those are the people that the flowers were for. Because mom was always a single mom. And that made life really hard for her and me. And I just never understood how it's okay for the military to do stupid bullshit stuff. You know what? I was talking to my friend Mr. Iski the other day. See, he was a farmer, lived near the base. His family got the 120-year farm in Nebraska award at the state fair. Anyway, I was telling him about how I thought I lost these coins, but then I just found them. And he said, I said, now, mister, because he did these too. I have this too. This is another token. Where's the sticky brick? I don't know where the sticky brick is. Sticky brick. Where's the sticky brick? I'll have to find the sticky brick. I don't know what I did with the sticky brick. I don't know where the sticky brick is. You alright, Mom? How is your belly? Oh, you can't. I think it's funny. Nothing you said is proof. Okay, alright. But then they gave me this shit. But then I get this stuff. See, this is like Airman of the Quarter, 55th Maintenance, group, April to June 2005. That was a year before I got out. That was like when I was doing ALS and all that stupid pony show shit. ALS is what is Airman Leadership School. I knew I wasn't gonna, I didn't need to I knew I was done with 6 years. Like, I couldn't be a part of the bullshit about what they feed America about these little coins and stuff. So I was telling Mr. Iski, I said, yeah, I found these, and stuff. He said, I said, now, like, some of these coins say 200, and I got like 125 or something like that out of 200. Most coins aren't, but it's just another stupid club. It's just like, hey, you get one of these? They just give them to because I only have 2 coins. There's people that have, their buddies. Something they give it to their buddies. And then what they do is they go out and drink their stupid booze and alcohol. And then if they drop the coin, it's called a coin check. And you got to buy everybody in the whole joint of beer. So be careful. It's pride. It talks about integrity. God, I went to AA meeting. Those AA coins that are mixed in there. It's hard to mix up because I became acquaintances with dudes. One guy's name's Ernie. He would talk about how he was the navigator. He went and looked at his old log books, and he was the navigator that is parked, stationed out front of the flag gate. It used to be the flag gate. All military does is about real estate, tearing down buildings, redeveloping. Oh, we're tired of it over here. Let's go over here and use all of our contracting resources. Let's use all. It's all about real estate and control and power and dominance. That is what the military is about. And then under the guise of we're doing it so the American people can rot in the streets, because they don't see. Put all those dumb yuppie nepo bitches that like to do, 5 against 1 or whatever. Take those guys and put them on the streets in like New Mexico, and then see how big and tough they are. Yeah, put a bunch of base dudes, plastic dudes in New Mexico out. Yeah. They don't do good here. Like, we already live in a lawless land. That's what people don't get. You get nailed by, like, there's this chick on the internet that does a cat rescue, and her car, K or something like that, I think it's a them. I don't know. I can't keep track of all the things people are. Good Lord. Cat Rescue K had her Subaru, of course, parked it on her property, and it got hit by a landscaping truck that was scooping snow or something, from my understanding. And then they didn't want to pay her for the damage that they caused. And she couldn't even get her own insurance. See, and these are things I learned a long time ago. I learned that insurance was a racket when I got T-boned by an undocumented guy from south of the border someplace. Totaled my Hyundai Sonata, my poor man's Jaguar. It was good that happened. And then, so I was like, oh, this is, it's about, it'll go here, it'll go there, and it'll go nowhere in my pocket. And that's what America's built on, is creating agencies. Agencies are like insurance, hospitals, police, fire, city governments, local governments, county. Whenever you see those transit, all of those exist so that the people that work there can collect a paycheck. So it's welfare for the people that collect a paycheck is what it is. It's also, see, because it's, what do they say? If you can figure out how to get rich off other people's sweat, then that's what, or, you know, or make a, like, I remember in the 60s, they had a thing or something like that called the pep rock, where people would go buy a rock. I always thought that, I just, like, if it's the first monkey principle. If one person does it, then people see it and be say, to be important, because they look at them, the person with that thing is someone that is above. I don't look at that hierarchical stuff in the same way. I do, but it's based on an intelligence. It's based on, like, and there's so many autistic people, nonverbal, that are so smart, and those are the folks I can communicate with anybody, except for pretentious frat boy assholes and their girlfriends. I don't, like, the loyalties to that, I can't. So, my world is very small. So when I was younger, Mom would teach the importance of, like, keeping, you know, picking up your shoes. Like, she used to like confiscate my shoes when I was a kid, and I didn't put them away because I get so excited. I don't live on planet Earth, so I just go on automatic pilot, and she doesn't have the energy, and it's not her place to go around and have to clean up after me. So we have the whole shoe thing. Still, one of her favorite, she doesn't have as big as a Basta's vocabulary as one she once had because of her traumatic head injury. At one point, she's still, like, worried about shoes. Your shoes. She points out my shoes. Your shoes. I said, yeah, Mom, they're right there, so I know where they're at. So you can't take them no more. So we've had a lot of fun in life. She's such a dear, sweet woman, man. She's such a nice lady. She's just, man, she has just been through the ringer in her life. And she's still happy and grateful. So, I had these roommates back in, like, 95, 96. I lived with my brother. He had a roommate, like, 5-6 years. Took him forever to get his freaking, he's a slacker. He's one of those guys that figured out how to milk the system, you know. And he had a roommate that's in prison for being a pedophile. I don't know if he still is or if the guy ever got out. I got pictures of him in my photo album from Templeton. Just, like, you know, they're all the same. They all wear their fraternity logos. They're all loyal to butt stuff. And so he met this chick from Chevy's Mexican restaurant through a friend of mine in high school. Like, anyway, I don't want to get into all that. The world is not as big as people say it is. And I know a lot of people. And there's a lot of weird, or not weird, but there's a lot of cool synchronicities that connect people in life in the no-place space where all the data and information is held. And so he found this girl that could, you know, tolerate him and stuff. And they moved in together. And, like, she had a really good heart, and he knew it, and just would, I don't know, I guess predators are drawn to that. And she had pigs and that, and we lived in the middle of Sacramento, like by Watt and Arden. I worked at the Watt and Arden Rite Aid. And so, like, I learned a lot of valuable lessons on how to live with other people, like, there. And then, like, after there, I went off into the military, and I've always lived in, like, communal spaces where people had their own space, but then you had to gather for the good of the whole, you know, and so that's the kind of spirit that I hold. And so, there's 3 kinds of clean I figured out. There's Nicole Clean. She was like OCD, ADD, ADHD, AB, ABHCs, alphabet soups. And she used her energy and her neurosis to, like, but she was up and down. What was she? I think she was a Virgo too. So my brother, the way I look at astrology, when people date signs that are close to themselves, They're having the incarnational experience where they're dating themselves. An energetic frequency of it like them similar. So I spend all my time with me. I want to be around energetic frequencies that are grounded. So I like people with earth in their chart and stuff like that. They don't like me because I make life murky. With my water and my fire and my air, I have no earth. So I get down into that earth elements and I just play, and they're just like, oh, don't make a mess, is how I look at it. And so Nicole was the cleaner. And so there's three kinds of clean. There's me clean, Jerry clean, and Nicole clean. There's Nicole clean, who is the obsessive that like moves everything out of the way. I became Nicole clean when I bought my house in Omaha, 2331 North 63rd Street. That thing is, but when I got it for $120,000. It sold upside down at like 92. Okay, I ran out of money. It sucked. Beautiful house. I looked it up on Zillow last night, and it's listed again at $235K. And I'm like, huh. Anyway, so I used to, like, every week I wake up, because I have a lot of energy, so I would do the Nicole. I'd move all the furniture out, you know, because I want people to come over and visit. People don't have pets, don't like the way pets smell, so you got to keep everything nice and clean for everybody else's neurosis is what it is. And then, like, as I got more comfortable, I did less and less, and then I became Jerry clean. Those are the people that their level of clean is based on the inspector. And my brother has the mentality of do a bad job and then they won't have you do. Am I doing a terrible job? He's a Virgo. Oh, okay, well, I'll just sit back and I'll let you do it. That's Virgo in my brain. He's August 24th. My rest in peace, Artie Pants. I had a dog, same temperament, born on the same day. I learned so much about my brother watching the temperament of my dog, and I got to love and forgive and be at peace with my brother through my dog, but I still talk shit about my brother all day long. It's my right. It's my right as a being is to talk about my experience and stories and incongruence. Close proximity to the lives of others is where it gets murky and they don't like it. So, I'm bad with boundaries. Because I go over here and they said this is what the military is. And that's not what the military is. They say this is what America is. I'm like, that's not what America is. And all these things, my whole life, people have said, this is how things are. I'm like, but I have a different experience, and I've lived it, and I don't live my life based on the internet. I talk about my life and my experiences in my life on the internet. I don't create content to talk about to make people watch me, because I don't do this for clicks, likes, and subscribes. I have no dogs or cats in the fight. I don't need nobody to pay my bills. I don't gotta monetize. I don't go on vacation. Mom and I might drive out to the spa one day. I guess if you're on your birthday, you get to do spa stuff. I might want to try the food. I might have to check out and see about that. Oh, hi, Callie. See, because all the important people come here, but when they come here, they don't do anything to make it any better. That's what my beef with travelers are. Because there's all kinds of travelers. Anyway, and okay, so you have Nicole clean, you have Jerry clean, the guy that like is killed. Okay, if Nicole's going to inspect, then I have to move the couch and vacuum. Because she knows that, okay, Jerry, did you move the couch? Yeah, I moved the couch. Did you move the couch? Because you said you moved the couch and you didn't before. Because you're not really a person of integrity. And then you move the couch, and Jerry didn't move the couch because there's stuff from the little potbelly pig and the bunnies and stuff under it, and Arthur Boo. And so I know these personality types because I know I've seen so much of the program. I've been a part of so many, because we were poor. We were in the poor program, and then my brother became he became a part. It's like that Star Wars movie where the brother and sister, one becomes good, one becomes questionable character. Of questionable character. He became a fucking lawyer for the state of California. Guy is not a good guy. He's been playing smack ass and whitey tighties with his frat buddies and his buddies in high school since high school, since they're, because his friends in high school became his frat buddies, and so it's just all so stupid. And none of these guys ever helped me move. They never helped me with the. I went to him in 2020 and I said, dude, my credit's screwed. Like, life didn't work out the way I planned because God wanted me to laugh at my plans, and so things didn't work out. And I said, I need help, big brother. Help, little sister. I said, and he said, no, I'm going to help you by not helping you. And I was like, what an evil thing to say. And he's the guy that said, Marge, my whole life I've been really hard on you. I've let terrible, bad things happen to you by the hands of groups of children, predators that grew up to be adult predators. And I opted to protect them and not my own little sister. So what does that say about your character and stuff like that? And he's like, I'm going to help you by not helping you. And I was always really hard on you because I wanted you to see how hard the world was going to be on you. So I wanted you to prepare you for that. And I was like, Jerry, I've been picked on my whole life. That's why I see who the people that like to freaking pick on people, and because I see it because there's a look that people get, like Trump and like all these icky, because I know what it is in women too. I can see it in men because I have it myself. I have more masculine and feminine energy. People wanted to punish me my whole life just because when you look at my planetary chart, it says more masculine than feminine. When you look at my planets, they all have an energy. They make a cake. We're just like an energetic cake by planetary ingredients. And then from the time we're born, we have this energy, and we walk around this earth with this energy, and we bounce back and forth between our polarity of our negative and our positive. And I choose to live more in positive. I know what it's like in Negativeville. It's not in Candyland. It's sour candy. I don't like it. And so I try to stay on the sweet side, nice and light. Don't be rude and sensitive. I try to do these things. And then it's like, I beg to differ. Like, whenever I hear anybody talk about being in the military, they've never been in the military. And I don't care what my ASFSSC's bitches are. Because I ain't a bottom bitch, and all that stuff is, I was just doing stuff for orders. Were you on Crete? No, they don't go. They weren't there. Because when I was on Crete, I got to bebop around Sudabay, clunk, 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 and like see. And I'm in a foreign land because it's all Greek to me. I'm seeing symbols everywhere. I'm like on an island in the Mediterranean, and it felt like the Truman Show. Now, if I wouldn't have seen all those psyches collapse from those Marines that came back, because when those guys came back after they bombed back, they were all big and tough, and then they came back deflated. They were crying. And then they made the mistake that there's only one place. They were sequestered and they couldn't go nowhere, so they just bombed Baghdad, and then they put them in this big old huge hangar with their tanks and stuff. And these guys were still wearing the same uniforms and stuff. They did all this nasty. So like it smelled like a dude's locker room and stuff. And then, like, I'm walking through just trying to do my job, you know, and there's 550 guys camped out. And then finally, the base, whatever, commander said, well, these guys deserve to let some steam off, so we're gonna let them go over to the bowling alley and they can drink some beers. These 550 dudes freaking tapped, emptied kegs, like they just all they went in through like in a couple of hours, no beer left, nothing left, all of it gone. These guys, the next day I walked through the aftermath of what these 550 dudes did. And then I'm thinking these guys are all going to go back to wherever they came from, and this is how they're going to act, and this is how shell shock happens. Is they go over to places they have no business, and they're good guys, you know, like the football star, they just got all the privilege and everything, you know, the hometown hero, and they don't have a whole lot of options, just like me, and they did what I did, and they enlisted, and then they let themselves get carried away, because we always have free will. People let themselves get carried away. The game is don't let them sway you. Don't let them get you off center. I don't got no earth, so I just spin around, I get excited, and then it's just like, oh, they're trying to provoke you. Oh, yeah. And then I realize that, oh, they're just being another one of them because they're all the same. And then I remember Marge. They all end up needing. It's like there's, you know the big nothing in the never-ending story? There's this group of population of men in America. And they're of all shapes and sizes and varieties, colors, backgrounds. Erectile dysfunction does not discriminate. To the point that last year the military spent $4 billion on male enhancement drugs that clearly didn't work. And for all the ladies that are part of the program that are told, I used to cry myself asleep at night because the idea of having a dude choose me, I pick you, you could be my wife. Because that's the mentality of it was. Like, there's all these different mentalities from all over because the Earth is a radio station. And so people that are born on the 35th parallel, like they are programmed to an alignment. Hollywood, and then all the cities on it. Like they're all to support a story of how they want people to go after their life and live their life. And then up on the 40th parallel is or 33rd, 35th, plus or minus 2. I mean, in every parallel, like Reading is where I grew up. A lot of Freemasons, a lot of people hunting. Everybody knows about lost lanes, you know. Like they have 500-600 pound sturgeon in there. My mom actually had a friend, Diane, that she had to identify at the sheriff's office one time. Diane, because she didn't want one of her daughters to have to do it. So mom said she would do it. And Diane was one of those girls, party girls everybody liked, that was just, you know, the pick-me girl, and she picked the wrong guys. And there's always Hell's Angels disappearing people. I don't know why people that revere people that drink and do too many drugs and just live to have sex with people, and then they disappear them. And then the world goes, oh, Hell's Angels, they're great guys. And I'm like, when? What? Huh? Why? What? Huh? Because, mom's been harassed ever since I was a little girl with guys with patches on their vest. But it's just another one of those great guys. It's just her that they're picking on. Like, that's how I know who the asshole is, because everybody that society thinks is a really great human being. Oh man, they're such a charmer. Whenever you need, I have known so many of those. That's predatory behavior. Nobody's nice all the time. Everybody's in a bad mood. Sometimes people have off days unless they're always looking for opportunities to take advantage of other people. And I noticed you got to be careful about those people that like to go on vacations and they like to do this and they like to do that. Especially if they're snake oil salesmen. Like astrologers I see, the conference has begun. The shift is happening. They're going to get their tax write-offs and get to go to all those places they always wanted to see on the dimes of other people. How many people are these people are going to be helping on the road? I want to see that. Those are the stories I care about. When people have so much that that the world supports them and just going around to 6, 7 parts of the country and having the same conversation. See, when I was in AA, they had AA rock stars and people of importance. They would have conferences. It was like human trafficking. It was what it was. If you look at it, really, if you want to be real, if you want to look at it as the program of honesty. And so they have these people flying everywhere, and it's all a tax write-off because it's a non-profit, and it's all people hooking up, and it's the 13th step. And I was just like, man, I really don't want to be a part of things that are a part of this, that do things like this, that make this okay. Because in these books that they're telling me that they're reading, it says this stuff ain't okay, but the way these people are living don't match the books, and so that's when I opted out. I still don't drink alcohol because it takes your soul, it takes your spirit. I even quit smoking schwacky tobacco. I don't like smoking, it's not good for your lungs. Your lungs aren't made to filter stuff like that. No, they're not. So when people like vape, if anybody follows anybody that still vapes in 2026, with all of the reports of popcorn lung and everything, see, it's an egomaniacal thing. It's like people think that things aren't going to happen to them. My whole life is based on things. But I could see things coming. I'm one of them seers. I'm like, okay, if this happens, then this is going to happen. Like, I see, they used to have old pictures of gears, that if this gear moved, then it made this one go. And then, like, they have puzzles where they have these big, elaborate gear systems. And the question is, if you move this one, what's this thing over here going to do? So I'm programmed to think everywhere, not just if this, then that. I think if this, then that. I also think infinite, multi-universal possibilities. There's not 8 billion people on the planet. There's, for however many perceivers on the planet, that many people having a different experience in the same place based on their frequency. I know it's too much for people. They just can't put, maybe if I look different, they'd hear me. Or maybe I got awards because I knew how to play in the cast of characters. And then I figured out they're looking for a cast of characters, but I know who I am. And because I know who I am, I'm not going to be the puppet that anybody wants me to be. I'm going to be a different kind of puppet. I'm going to be a clown because I'm a Heyoka. My name's Marge. Yeah. It's just what I do.